Craig.
Mark, Pedro, congratulations. Mark, given the run you'd been on, just one win in your previous 7 in the Premier League, how big is that tonight?
Yeah, I think very important. We need this win in front of our fans. I think we came for tough moments, but today the team showed his character. I think this win is very important. We win confidence, and I think we deserve these 3 points.
Pedro, Mark's mentioned character and confidence there. To come from behind, how much does that add to confidence at this moment?
Oh, I think it was really important, after the run, like you said, that we had. I think this shows the mentality of the team, the mentality that we are here to perform and to do our best. And it was really important for us, this victory coming from behind.
Mark, this is the youngest starting 11 in the Premier League. You've come in for some criticism of late, particularly when you've been in front and let leads slip. Do you think some of that's unfair on such a young team?
Well, I think we play in this big club. We need to win trophies. I think we need to believe in ourselves. I think doesn't matter the age. We need to show the character, and we are mature and ready to win the games. I think today we need to suffer. We need to come back from the mistake in the first half. But today we show what these players have and what we can show every game.
Pedro, there's no doubting the quality here, but do you at times need to find the killer instinct?
I think, like you said, I think it's not about the killer instinct. In the Premier League, you cannot, like you said, in the games that we were winning 1-0 and we let them turn around. I think it was not about killing the games. Of course, you could kill the games, but as well, we have to learn that in the Premier League. Normally, you have 4 games winning 1-0, and that is the important stuff. We are a recent group, to be honest. We have lots of players coming in. So this year was the proof that we are here to do our job and to be consistent. This is the most important thing for us.
You got the equalising goal, and we saw an interesting celebration. Who were you directing that to? Was that the fans or the critics?
It's like Cuco says as well. We are for a big club, and it's what I say. People, we know that in the moment you are the best, and the other one you are the worst. So this is about working and be consistent. In this, is what we are going to do.
Mark, other teams had faltered at the weekend. You grabbed the 3 points tonight and took the 4th place. How big a message was that you sent out to your rivals for that battle for the Champions League spots tonight?
Yeah, I think today we show that we are ready. I think we have the quality to stay in the top positions. I think today we came before from a tough moments, and then we do a mistake and we start losing, but today we show we need to suffer. We play together like a team, like a family, and today I think we deserve, and it's very important for us.
Pedro, just finally, Mark's mentioned that you've suffered at times tonight and in previous games. The manager's talked about that, but he's talked about it in a positive way, that's the way you learn, get stronger and get better. Do you sense that's the direction you are now moving in?
Of course, it's the direction. I think even to win trophies, you have to suffer. You have to know how to suffer. So we are here to suffer, to do our best, and to take the most points that we can to be in the top place.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was great expectation after.
Welcome back. So for just the 2nd time in the Premier League, West Ham lead Chelsea at the Bridge at half-time, courtesy of Jarrod Bowen. But as we said just before the break, Joe, not a moment Levi Colwill will want to see
he had a little warning just before where he was a bit loose on the pass. It was always going to be that concentration there. Look, great pressing from Kudus. This is the loose one where he sucks in the foul like Mo said. And again, they was kicking it onto Souček's head here. Now, just be safe. You can play it down to the goalkeeper's left foot. You can kick it out. Playing it across your box, you're always asking for trouble. I mean, when you talk about Chelsea being a young team and immature, it's moments like these, which Chelsea were the better side up here. Chelsea were creating chances. But there, 2 options. You can go, if you're not sure, stick it out and we defend. That's okay. And West Ham, I felt West Ham were looking for moments like this from Chelsea, laying traps. It was it's not a good moment for him.
What a finish. I mean, you mentioned before the show, Steve, I was fortunate enough to go and do a bit of a striking masterclass with this lad, Jarrod Bowen, at the end of last season. Do you know what surprised me the most is his deceptive pace in his shooting. Accurate, yes, but just little side foots almost went in double the pace that you would normally see. He strikes it so clean. And even though he's going for accuracy there, you see the power, the power as well. When you've got that combination, it's brilliant. He's a really, really top finisher. No wonder, obviously, he scores a lot of goals. But lots of people can score goals, but they miss a lot as well. He is so ruthless when he gets in front of...
And as we know, he's just been out for 5 games with a broken foot as well.
Honestly, if I was out for 5 games, it would take me 2 or 3 games just to feel normal again. I just couldn't pick the pace up straight away. You know, my touch was slightly off. Lots of things were slightly off. He's come back and he looks like he's never been away. But look at that side foot, bang! It's in the back of the net before the goalkeeper can even.
Where he's kept it low, Mo, he's used the turf a little bit, because he knows it's going to skid. So it's just a beautiful strike, just bang. Yeah, and like Mo said, I think he's one of the best finishers in the Premier League.
He is.
Strike, just bang. Yeah, and like Mo said, I think he's one of the best finishers in the Premier League.
He is.
And just before half-time, West Ham, having seen their captain score, had their goalkeeper to thank. How good a save is this?
This is superb. This is like elite football at both ends. From Cole Palmer, he hits it lovely, gets it up and down. But look at that for a save. Full stretch, right in the top corner. That is elite football both round from Cole Palmer and Areola.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely perfect from Cole Palmer. It's going right in the top corner. And what a save. I mean, he's had to gamble slightly there to get across, because normally that goes in the top corner. Everyone says, well, that's the side of the goal, you know, that the wall is protecting. So if it goes in there, you let the goalkeeper off. But, I mean, he's made the save when it was going right in that top corner. Unbelievable.
You say Chelsea have been the better team. They just haven't been able to ask any more questions at Areola when they've got in around that penalty.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of possession. You know, lots of movement. Cole Palmer picking up deep. Casado wins the ball lovely. They actually got a lot of joy, like Scott Minnow was saying during the commentary, on these kind of situations where West Ham had the ball. They sucked him out. Madueke comes in, hits it. You know, but also getting on the ball, runners in midfield, little mistake. Cole Palmer usually does better there, doesn't he?
Yeah, I just thought he was stretching a bit. That first chance by Madueke, that sort of football, the modern day football, isn't it? Wide player on his left foot on the right hand side, cutting in and curling one into the far corner. Sancho had a similar effort later on in the game, obviously right footer cutting in as well. That last chance from Fernandes, I mean, I don't know, I think he made a good touch. He had to keep it tight. This is the one I'm talking about before. That's where their eyes light up. In fact, Joe, you played in that position as well. Cutting in, that's just where you want your defender.
Yeah, you do, and that's what he likes. He has 2 dribblers, Enzo Maresca, and he, at the moment it's Madueke and Sancho. They keep wide, and he wants them. They're like left wing forwards and right wing forwards. They come in all the time, but they have to do better in them situations. And I think that's a difference. I think other teams have, you know, Liverpool have Salah, Diaz, Gakpo. They're more clinical. Sancho and Madueke, and the way they play, they're forwards. They need to be more clinical coming inside. There's little signs from Chelsea, but I still feel they're off it slightly.
In Cave, can they find another gear? Can they come from behind after Premier League games and into the top 4 with 15 games to play? And given what Enzo Maresca walked into, Joe, at this stage of the season, would you have expected Chelsea to be in the top?
At the start of the season, I thought it was a real mess, because you had 30 players and there was a lot of lads who needed to get out the door. There was a lot of uncertainty. Then Chelsea kept adding to the list. So I thought Enzo's going to be so difficult for him. And then we interviewed him early on in his reign, and he was so calm about the process. He said, look, I'm going to pick my players. He said, who I think can do what I need them to do. And the ones that can't, they can leave. And he said it in such a way, so stern and so... But he believed it. I thought, I like you. And then I think he's managed the group brilliantly. There's some players who've gone out the door now this week where they've moved on. And I think he's just put like a bit of a steel into the side. I think there's still bumps in the road. Like, it was 4 or 5 weeks ago, I thought Chelsea were in a title race, because I've been watching them consistently, and improvement. Then they had a 3-4 week spell where they didn't win a game. And in this league, you can't do that. You've got to be on it. So I'm impressed with him when I consider... You have to take yourself back to what it was like in August. It looked incredibly mad, and he just settled the ship. Players have gone out the building again in January. The squad's gone shorter and smaller, but I think stronger. So I think the top 4 is well within their grasp. I think it's something they should do with the amount of money they've spent. So I think he's doing a very, very good job, and I think Champions League would be par for the course for this club this year.
Shouldn't we forget as well that it's his first season managing in the Premier League while sorting all this out and trying to get Chelsea into the top 4?
I think he's done an incredible job. That was a real mess. Lots of good managers have come and gone. Lots of them couldn't sort out the mess, but as Joe said, very stern, a strict idea really of what he wants to do. And I think when you've got all of those players, the hardest thing that you can do is try to keep everybody happy. You've just got to say, right, these are going to be my 18 or whatever the number is. These might play in Europe, and these are ones that I don't fancy at all. And it's hard on some, but that's what it needed. Chelsea just accumulated too many players. It was too difficult a job to manage the club, let alone be a player there. And I think he's done a really good job. Now, you can't expect to have that much of a mess and then to be a title challenger this year. I think if he gets top 4, that's a really, really solid start. And then they can build.
And I think also, he's not got complete control of what he would like. Because I think, judging by how he manages players, I think he'd like a bit of experience in that team. I think most managers, if you said, right, we're building the team that we want to achieve our goals, I think every football person would say, I need a bit of experience in my squad to help me out.
I think it's the second youngest team in the Premier League in terms of starters.
It is, and I think that's a club policy. They've gone down this road of...
Haven't started a player 30 or older this season in the outfield.
Again, and I understand from a club policy, when you're thinking of it from a business perspective, you think you buy the best young players in the world from 18 to 22, you play them games, you develop them, you know, they're going to get better there. And whether they play for Chelsea and are there to become that player that takes you to the next level, or you sell them on, you're going to make money. But what I think they're missing the trick, and I think Enzo, if you asked him and he was honest, I think he'd say, I would like to have, you know, maybe a slightly younger Thiago Silva, a Jordan Henderson, or someone, or a few players of that like, who've been there, done it, who can lead the group. Because them sort of players, when we was young players, them sort of players are the ones that show you the way. You learn just as much from them than you do from the coaching staff by playing with them and seeing how they conduct themselves. So I think he would if he could.
But on the flip side, he has got a young team, and you think to yourself, right, if someone said to me now, who's in 3 years' time, who could be, you know, right up there challenging for the league, I'd be saying, well, Chelsea. You know, they're such a young side. That team, if he keeps them together and grows as a team, while all the other teams, you look at the likes of Liverpool and, you know, their key players, you know, the Mo Salahs, the Virgil van Dijks, you know, theirs is the here and now. They're not going to be around in 4 or 5 years, let's say, maybe. So Chelsea are going to be building that team with a real young basis of the squad. It could be very exciting for the years ahead. I agree with Joe in that, you know, for the here and now, a couple of experienced players would be brilliant. But looking at the future, wow, it'd be exciting to be a Chelsea fan.
It's a culture change for the fans, Mo, because the fans for the last 20 years under the Abramovich era it was always about the here and now. It was always about, you know, the manager would go if he wasn't first, second, or even third. You're gone. Do you know? So the fans have been used to, right, we're going to go and try and find the best number 9 in the world, the best holding midfielder. And now the fans are just trying to adjust to this, right? We've fallen away from it. Might take us a few years, and only time will tell whether it's the right thing. But these players were going in the right direction, for sure.
Let's have a look at how they turned around the second half then. West Ham upset about a challenge on Jan.
كورتوا يرفض اللعب مع منتخب بلجيكا بسبب المدرب. كورتوا غاب عن تشكيلة بلجيكا في بطولة كأس أوروبا 2024 بألمانيا. أكد تيبو كورتوا حارس عرين ريال مدريد أنه لن يلعب لمنتخب بلجيكا مرة أخرى ما دام دومينيكو تيديسكو يتولى تدريب المنتخب. وأراد كورتوا أن يوضح من خلال رسالة على موقع التواصل الاجتماعي أن رحلته مع المنتخب البلجيكي قد انتهت، موضح الخلافات التي يحتفظ بها مع تيديسكو. وقال كورتوا: أريد أن أخاطب الجماهير البلجيكية ومتابعي منتخبنا الوطني. أشعر بالحب والفخر الهائلان لتمثيل بلدي في ملعب. أشعر بالفخر لأنني حظيت بشرف ارتداء القميص الوطني. لم أتخيل قط في أحلامي أن أتمكن من القيام بذلك أكثر من 100 مرة. وأضاف لسوء الحظ بعد الأحداث مع المدرب وبعد الكثير من التفكير قررت عدم العودة إلى المنتخب البلجيكي تحت إشرافه، وفي هذا الشأن أتحمل مسؤوليتي. إن عدم ثقتي به لن تسهم في الحفاظ على مناخ الود اللازم. وتابع الاتحاد الذي أجريت معه عدة محادثات لتقبل موقفي والأسباب التي دفعتني إلى هذا القرار. أنا آسف لأنني ربما خيبت أمال بعض المشجعين، لكنني مقتنع بأن هذا هو أفضل طريق للمضي قدما بالنسبة لبلجيكا، لأنه يغلق النقاش ويسمح للفريق بالتركيز على تحقيق هدفه. ختم أشكركم على دعمكم المستمر والحب والتفاهم. وغاب كورتوا عن تشكيلة بلجيكا في بطولة كأس أوروبا 2024 بألمانيا. وغادر حارس ريال مدريد تشكيلة منتخب بلاده قبل أكثر من عام بسبب خلاف حول شرط القيادة مع المدرب تيديسكو. بعدها بشهرين تعرض الحارس البالغ 32 عاما لتمزق في الرباط الصليبي لركبته اليسرى في أغسطس آب 2023، ثم لتمزق الغضروف المفصلي في مارس آذار الماضي، مما أدى إلى غيابه عن معظم الموسم قبل أن يعود إلى صفوف النادي الملكي ويتوج معه بدوري أبطال أوروبا.